Hello, hello, hello. Alive, 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 ho. Who's here? Musical Aviator, Luke, Megaleech. Hello. Just doing an adjustment thing. Hope it doesn't give anyone motion sickness. Do that, do that. There we go. Starting to get thing. Gotta adjust my drink a bit. I put too much lemonade in. There's not enough blood orange in it. Yeah, it's still pretty good though. I don't know, maybe I won't mess with it actually. Oh, no. Mistimed entry into the kitchen of a mysterious stranger. These things happen in this big world. Musical Aviator, the army is coming to your suburb to help with the COVID testing. Yes, the Premier of Victoria has enlisted the help of the Australian Defence Force for some logistics to ramp the testing up to record levels. We've been going up more. We've been testing about 8,000 people a day. Then on the weekend, because everyone got freaked out about the surge in cases, it doubled, and then I think it doubled again. So really, basically, in the hotspots, they're basically aiming to test the majority of the population of those suburbs, which we haven't done in Australia up to this point. There's been per capita a reasonable amount of testing, comparable or better than other places, similar type countries around the world. But they're really going to go to town now. And also, hello, Strictly Sega and Invisible Chicken. Megaleech having wine and blue cheese. That is a fine thing to be doing. I mean, I'm not a wine drinker myself. Not going to begrudge someone else, particularly pairing it with some blue cheese. Live stream I like watching on Facebook. Applewood Distilleries. He's been doing some food pairings lately, and he did do what cheese goes with what cocktail recently, a week or so ago, and it looked really good. And yes, blue cheese is featured quite a bit, which is interesting because when you really pair food and drinks well, and this is not just about cocktails or even not just about wines, not just about alcohol, if you pair what you drink with what you eat really well, and I don't claim to actually have this skill, but if you do it or you go somewhere where they do it for you, it really does kind of next level what you're doing by instead of it just being here's some food and here's some drink, and they don't really have a lot to do with each other. When it's done really well, they complement and elevate each other. It's very good. Charlie, good evening. Hello. How are you this fine even? Say la vie. Life goes on. I am going to go to work in the city tomorrow for only the second time in 3 months. Since the whole work from home shtick started. This will only be the second time in 3 months that I've gone into the office. I will not be going by public transportation. I thought I was going to have to, but they're actually going to give me a space in the corporate car park because no one's going into the office. So all the corporate car spaces are empty, and they just said, just contact the building admin and they'll let you in the parking. So I get free parking. Yay! So I don't have to go public transport. Okay, drink with Stilton Blue. Well, let's consult the Googs. What drink pairs with Stilton Blue? What comes up? 8 great drinks to match with Stilton. Sloe gin. This person says that's their favorite. Tokaji. It's a Hungarian dessert wine with apparently marmalade and orange peel flavors. Sauternes, sweet sherry, an aged Margaret River Cabernet Sauvignon, elderberry wine, porter or stout, and port. So that's one person's view. I'm not sure how solid that is. Maybe I'm intrigued if actually change that to cocktail. No, that same thing is the top thing. Here's an interesting. Oh, from Castello cheese. And another one, why world-class mixologists are putting blue cheese in the drink. Okay, so Castello are a cheese maker. Cheese and cocktails go very well together. Consider the base spirits. Gins. Yes. They're saying gins generally go with a variety of cheeses. Rum, whiskey, and cognac pair with sweeter cheeses. So this includes hard-aged cheeses like Gouda Havarti and even blue cheese. There you go. Gin and tonic pairs with soft and creamy cheeses like brie, double cream cheese, right? A gin sour serves with a mild double cream and aged Gouda. A Bloody Mary goes with dry aged cheeses. An Old Fashioned goes with blue cheese. There you go. You make yourself an Old Fashioned, Mega Leech. Also a Manhattan. So this is nothing saying whiskey-based ones go with blue cheeses. Yeah, there you go. That's someone else's opinion anyway. Ooh, we have Muscat and Pinot Noir Rosé to go ahead with it. Find the food that pairs well with a whiskey sour. Well, let's... What food goes with a whiskey sour? What food goes with a whiskey sour? The top 7 foods to pair with whiskey. Best snacks to complement your whiskey drink. Whiskey and food pairings you must try. Top 5 simple foods to pair with whiskey. 12 whiskey and food pairings you need to know about. There's a unique cocktail and food pairings you need to try. I just want to look at this. What's this? They've got a really funny picture, like some goth chick really getting into a cocktail. Okay. A whiskey sour is a neutral partner to a salad. Well, fuck that. I'm not having a salad with a whiskey sour. God's sake. Citrus of a gimlet works well with the saltiness of sushi. Well, I hate sushi, so that's not going to happen. Bloody Mary, club soda, shrimp cocktail. See, I don't like Bloody Marys or shrimp cocktails, so fuck that too. Not liking this article. Lobster bisque and an old fashioned. Okay, I could probably get into that. Lobster bisque is not a big thing with me, but I do like lobster, so a good lobster soup. Old fashioned, I could see that happening. Margaritas and grilled food work because sweet sauce. See, I'd go that. But it's for barbecue stuff. There you go. Margaritas with your fucking barbecue. A Kentucky 75 makes fried food taste even better. The fuck is that? Is that a whiskey and champagne cocktail? So up with the Pop-Ups website. I'm going to have to fucking kill someone. You have to find out who put your website together and fucking kill them. Ugh. Christ, I hate just fucking invasive web design. Bourbon, lemon juice, simple syrup, so a sour with a whiskey sour topped with champagne or prosecco. I thought that's what it was. So they're saying whiskey topped with sparkling wine makes fried food taste better. The bubbles in the highball, so that's basically anything with bubbles, brightens the flavor of a bowl of chili. The bitters and oak-aged spirits of a Vieux Carré cuts through heavy meat dishes. There you go. That's for steak and whatnot. I could go with that. I rarely eat steak. Steak's like too much trouble. How about I don't like steak because you have to chew it too much. It's just a pain. What is wrong with me? A vanilla rose julep helps to elevate the flavors of a spice-heavy dip. I kind of like that article. Not really into the stuff that's in it, but I kind of liked it. Chowder. Megaleech's chowder. Kirsten, you like... Well, that's where we're going. Megaleech is having wine and cheese tonight and started to talk about cocktails. Yeah, whiskey and cheese, whiskey and red meat. Yeah, Luke, I've got a philosophical objection to ad blockers because although I don't have any monetized content at the moment, at some point I'd probably like to have monetized content, and that would be defeated by ad blocker. And of all things in this world, I try not to be. A hypocrite is top of the list. So I tend not to use ad blockers. I was going to top this up, and I thought, no, I've got a whole... It's Thursday. I might indulge. I've got a whole bunch of my milk clarified drinks in the fridge. And by a whole bunch, I mean there's like 5 in the fridge. I'm not going to drink 5 of them. I'm just saying options. I have options this evening. I'm going to try that rum one I made last night with the overproof rum. Because for whatever reason, when I made that cocktail, it didn't taste bad, but I don't know, something in my tum-tum was just saying, don't drink this tonight. Do not drink this tonight. And I try to listen when my body talks, like when I didn't even eat all the popcorn chicken I got tonight. I went to a local burger place, Thursday night's Bottle Grenade in this house. I was getting takeaway for everyone, burgers and chips and whatnot. And rather than a burger, this place does their house-made sort of deep-fried popcorn chicken, which I like, and I got that. And they give you a decent serve, and in a rare act of moderation for me, I didn't eat it all. So, and so I've kept some. I'll do something else with that later. Yes, Musical Aviator. I also have YouTube Premium. And yeah, I got it to not get ads. And then I found out the bonus, I get YouTube Music as well, which I use heaps. Which one did I get? It's twofold. Sorry, you're saying Starwood Nova and all the cheese. I got the Starwood twofold, which I have to get more into making drinks with, but not so much tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Megaleech, you think the whey gives them a limited shelf life? I don't know. I think I've heard it makes them keep a long time. And also, it depends what you mean by limited, because I only made them this week, and they're all going to. I'm going to place the wager now that they'll be gone by the end of the weekend. Oh, nice, Musical Aviator. You got super chats on YouTube. Yeah, I don't need it. I'm still working. My contract got extended, and the very strong rumor is after this month it'll get extended by a year, which would be so good. Because I like the current job, and add that to not having to have the stress of to go out into the job market when things are a bit fucking fraught. And that would be very, very, very good. So is all good in the hood as far as Angry is concerned. So we're going on. Music, you work for NBN. Your contract relies on NBN still existing. Of course. Salumi, hello. How are you? Good to see you in all your yellow-haired glory. Actually, like since I started up the cocktail channel, I've been trying to find more and more cocktail channels to follow on YouTube. Partly to get ideas, partly to hopefully be part of a community. Comment on their videos and so I'm slowly finding more and more cocktail channels and finding some interesting stuff too. Hi, Dingle Doty, how are you going? And Lemmy, you're stressed, but getting there. Well, so long as you feel like it's moving in a positive direction, even if things aren't actually perfect. Eyes on the prize, as the saying goes. One of the bigger channels I discovered this year I'm not going to say recently, but it was this year. They're called the Whiskey Tribe, and they focus, as the name suggests, purely on whiskey, and they got a whole, the lifestyle of whiskey and whatnot. How many subscribers do they have? Okay, like almost 250,000 subscribers. So very healthy channel. But I recently found out a bit more about them because they friends of the Modern Rogue, which is, they have 1.2 million subscribers, so they're a much bigger channel. So they have been, so the Whiskey Tribe has been known to the Modern Rogue guys for a while, and recently Modern Rogue has posted essentially a couple catch-up videos with Whiskey Tribe. What are you having? What the two dudes from the Whiskey Tribe, they've just decided to, they love whiskey and they want to share the love with people. And they set up this whole thing with a distillery, and you can go there, and they essentially set up what they call an educational thing, a non-profit education center. And they essentially like crowdfunded it, invited people to subscribe to it, etc. Give them dedicate the money to, be a founder and whatnot. And just, absolutely sold out of all the tiers that they had. So these guys now have their own distillery, and they also collect whiskeys. They've got thousands of bottles of whiskey in their vault, and it's a literal vault. They converted a building into a vault. It's got a big bank vault door. Pretty funny. But what I love is, like, these guys have tapped into something. Like, people really, really wanted what these guys were offering. And so these guys said, we're going to do a thing. And it was just successful, I'm sure, way beyond what they was expecting or even probably hoping. And so it's not that they're filthy, stinking rich or anything, but they're comfortable and they can literally do whatever they want now. They've just got themselves set up. They've got this really dedicated and strong supporter base, and they're in a position of doing literally whatever they want, which is pretty goddamn cool. Safa, it's Slovenian Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, Slovenia. I think that's the anthem. I think that's how it goes. Musical behavior, doing a personal development review, performance development review, KPIs. Oh my God. One of the single greatest thing about being a contractor is not doing performance reviews. Fucking hell, I hate performance reviews. You know, the passive aggressive boss. How do you think you're doing? I'm fucking awesome. I'm the best thing about this place. What's your problem? I do not miss being a permanent. The politics. The drudgery. I don't know. Might go back to it one day. Who effing knows? Not me. I certainly don't know. I do not know at all. So it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah, that whole performance review shit doesn't go. Yeah, Luke, I'm fired. Yes, Kirsten, you hate performance reviews. Performance reviews suck. They're so stressful. They're so gross. Ugh. Yeah, no, I do not like them at all. So I'm really glad I don't do them. I haven't had to do one, in fucking forever. I don't know, way over 10 years. I don't even remember last time I had to do one. Ugh, I hate it. The government says that NBN's 99% finished. I suspect you don't feel like it's 99% finished. Ooh, Safa, end of financial year stock take. See, I've never worked in sales or logistics, so I've never had to do stock taking. I've only ever worked in offices. I've only ever worked in IT. So I've never had to do stock taking. What was the old joke? I think it was like a Rodney Rude joke saying he used to work in Myers. It is a pretty good job. My favorite part of the job was stock taking. Me and my brother, we took a fuck of a lot of stock. I mean, we had a truck and everything. We just back it up, take some stock. Safi, you've done it once with Family Pump Shop. That doesn't sound rude at all. I'm going to make some innuendo about a family pump shop. I think that's a specialty subsection on Pornhub, isn't it? Family pumping. It's that type of world where it's not even a joke. That's a real thing. That's a thing that happens. So, that is the world we live in. It's not my fault. Yeah, see? Kirsten works in logistics. You bet you hate stock take. If you work just in retail or logistics or whatever, fucking stock take, man. Holy shit. Not good. Not good. So, oh no. Oh, that's not good, Kirsten. You hate stock take because no one can count. That's oh my God. I just remember a bad taste joke. It's like how many players are there on a rugby team? It's 15, isn't it? In rugby. 15. Okay, I thought so. When I were a lad, was playing Australian rules football in Dubbo when I was still at school, and we would make fun of like rugby players in particular because rugby players looked big and oafish, and not so much me because I was bloody heavy set and oafish, but a lot of the Aussie rules players were more athletic, taller and leaner. And so to make fun, for whatever reason, we were in a rugby club once. I don't remember what it was. But the team photos, and then there was like team photos, and then a picture of this. This is how I almost got thrown out of the rugby club, because all these pictures of teams who won, and then there was a picture of one guy, like he was probably their best and fairest, but he had a real rugby player face, the real sort of been stomped a few times in a fucking mall, just with a real rugby player face. And someone pointed this picture in, because he was a bit weird looking, and someone pointed the picture saying, who do you reckon, why is he got a picture? Who do you reckon he is? And I said a little bit too loud, I don't know. I think he's the bloke who can count up to 15. I was not popular. I tell you that much for fair. So everyone's going to tell stock take horror stories. Strictly Sega was a supervisor at Kmart and charge of a bunch of teens doing stock take. They come back with numbers that just weren't possible. I think they were just making it up. Well, the libs that NBN right after it finishes right. The libs are just fucking garbage. Just assume the worst of them. And Luke, yes, maybe 5G supersedes the NBN. I don't know. Who knows? See, Illumi, you did stock take for 4 to 5 years at Foodland. Worst stock take was the year Michael Jackson died because they played the same handful of songs on repeat. Imagine if you had worked in Baker's Delight when there was that period, which lasted a long time, where they tortured the staff by just playing that Baker's Delight jingle non-stop on loop. It was bad enough if you're a customer and you're in there for a couple of minutes and it was just dum, 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 dum. But the staff got it all day. That I think they maybe stopped it when there were a few mass killings. That didn't happen. But also working in a shopping mall at Christmas with really fucking shitty, awful Christmas music. How would that be? Kirsten, you're going to start charging kids $1 for every item they miss the first time. It wouldn't have if you did charge them $1 for every item they missed the first time, you wouldn't have to work till next year. Dang. I like that. Luke asking which lane's milk in Silimi. Can't remember. It's been a decade. Does it piss off supermarket stuff asking where stuff is? I don't think it does, Luke. I mean, if I'm always polite when I ask. Sometimes you just don't fucking know. And it's so easy to just not see something in a supermarket with everything around you. If you ask politely, if staff got annoyed with you asking questions, I'd say they shouldn't be working there. That's my big thing. Strictly say 5G's stupid. Yeah, I don't know the technicalities of how it worked. Your view is it requires extra transmitters compared to 4G. Yeah, I don't know the technical side of it, so I don't know. Oh, wow, Charlie. Every time you go into Big W, they have Happy Together playing. No, if they play the same shit all the time, that's torture for the staff. That's the worst. How's the toilet paper situation? It's fine. There's no fucking it's like that pissed me off so much when the reports of people panic buying toilet paper come out. Did you people fucking learn nothing? Ugh. See, that's right, Silumi. Yeah, you walk straight past what you were looking for. And yeah, when you asked, you just pointed, that's it there. And he said you were like the fourth person who missed it since they moved. Oh, I hate it when they move stuff. They move stuff in the supermarket and going, what's your fucking story? Okay? Why are you making my life hard, you fucks? Anyway. Oh, is that the summary, Megaleech? 5G is faster but shorter range, so needs more towers. There you go. Kirsten, just today of glass bottles that have 1,000 bottles per pallet, and you turned around and pointed at the 5,000 bottles and said, "No, that's the thing you meant to take. That thing, the 5,000 bottles." Oh my god! Dingle Doe, do you have mixed feelings on Christmas music? You'd never tire of Slade. Run, Runaway. How's that a Christmas song? It's not one that gets played here. Yeah, see, then maybe I benefit from 5G because I'm just going to stay in the city and have probably sufficient 5G transmitters in my Orange. Speaking of Slade, who remembers that fucking band from the late 80s, Quiet Riot, that were essentially a Slade cover band? I think they were like an American band, and they had a couple of hits in a row just covering Slade songs, notably Come On Feel the Noise, which is a great song. It's a fucking great song. And Mama, We're All Crazy Now. Slade were very funny. Slade were a weird cross between hippies, prog rock, and heavy metal. They were pretty... Yes, We're Not Gonna Take It. That's Twisted Sister, isn't it? Sunbear, can't understand why people bought stocks in toilet paper sales with taper. I can't believe people fucking fell for it all. Oh, Dinkle Daddy, you reckon Christmas is the only time anyone plays Slade? I have not paid that much attention. Yes, Luke, it is very weird that we do the European Christmas decorations with snow and shit. It is very weird. Sorry, who covered what, Strictly Sega? Did Quiet Riot cover We're Not Going to Take It? Or did Twisted Sister cover Slade? I'm getting confused. And Highway to Hell. See, you know more than me, man. I must have switched off from Quiet Riot. See, I must have switched off from Quiet Riot. The one I liked was Come On Feel the Noise. That's such a fun song. Oh my God, Slade was so funny. And of course, Slade had a resurgence because Quiet Riot got their songs back in the top 40, and Slade had been dead and gone for 10 years. But they just said, fuck it, man. If our songs are popular, let's release some more. Charlie, think we should have Christmas decorations of prawns and mangoes? I think we should. Bananas, pineapples, fish. That's at least Australians are getting a bit more sensible. My mum was really old school, and I'm from a big family, and so particularly as my siblings got into adulthood and started getting married and stuff, if people brought partners and kids, there could easily be 30 or 40 people come around to my family place on like Christmas Day for a big Christmas lunch, which my mum insisted on cooking. And she'd go, and it was all baked. There'd be like leg of lamb, chicken, probably a ham as well, and a whole bunch of roast veggies. And this is Dubbo in Christmas, 40 Celsius. It was ridiculous. Now people, it's become more of a tradition, and I think it's a very good thing to do like a seafood platter for Christmas in Australia, which makes so much more sense. Strictly Sega, you're into the 80s hair music, Warren and Poison, etc. Yeah, Luke, we could have small barbecues as Christmas ornaments to hang off the tree. Yeah, see, Charlie, your place, you had prawns and went swimming. Makes perfect sense. What I grew up with does not make sense, but my mum insisted on doing it. As you know, what are you going to do? No, Safa, it did not get to 50 Celsius in Dubbo. Regularly over 40 in summer. But no, 50 is 50 kills people. There are a couple places in Australia that hit 50 every summer these days. That is not a temperature humans can survive in. And that's going to become more and more common, which means more and more people are going to die. Historically, in terms of people killed by the weather, more people have died in winter than in summer. Heat waves kill people, cold snaps kill people. I think the reason more people had historically died in winter is low-income people, particularly like pensioners, felt like they couldn't afford to keep their heating on, and they actually, froze to death. They died from the cold. So traditionally, in terms of people killed by weather, more people have been killed in winter than in summer. But that's going to fucking flip as we get these worse and worse summers, worse and worse heat waves. We're going to get just a disturbing number of people killed by heat stroke, dehydration in the summers. So Invisible Chicken, your dad does roast and seafood, getting back to Christmas dinners. Dingle Day, you got weird looks from your friends when you mentioned you love Slade. I'd say my older sister was really into Slade, and I guess she was like 30 years older than you. I remember, I think her big one was the live album Slade put out. Kirsten, your one's not prawns, but blue manna crabs, fresh caught. Sorry, I was about to say, I misread that for a second. I thought you were saying fresh caught cold hams. You catch your own pigs? Potato salad. So I see, that's sensible. You're doing cold stuff. Yeah. We have, this house has, and in the previous one did too, had ducted heating, which is fucking great. Cats love it. They love the time of year when the ducted heating comes on. They just lie on the heat vents. They virtually hug them and just like, this is fucking great. In summer, they lie in the sunshine on a hot rock or hot concrete, just going, oh, fucking heat. I love it. So, yeah, we have ducted heating, which is really good. Feeling Sealer, hello, good evening. Oh, no, Visible Chicken, your dad was so frustrated with his parents turning off the heater at night, volunteered to give them money to get them to keep on just so they wouldn't get sick. Yeah, it is a real problem. The older people in particular feel they can't afford to keep the heating on, and a certain number of them die every winter. But like I said, we are going to see that flip, and there will be far more people killed by heat waves in summer than by cold in winter, which is not good. So for Christmas in July, popular in Melbourne. It's not huge. Some people do it. You know, people want to have like a Yule festival in midwinter. Some people do it. It's not huge though. I mean, probably in the snowfields, they probably do a Christmas in July thing. But yeah. Oh, Ballarat. Jesus, Invisible Chicken. They'll get so fucking cold in Ballarat. Ballarat's brutal in winter. Oh, Strictly Sagi, you reckon winter in July is more popular in country areas? Okay. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh, so Lumi, you had a Yule last weekend. I did not particularly do anything for Yule, but I did do midwinter, midsummer cocktails on my cocktail channel. Just my semi-regular plug. You should be watching my cocktail channel because it's good. Got to put up the pineapple videos. Speaking of which, I'm going to have one of the pineapple drinks. Almost finished this. Yes. So for not enough snow this year. I'm not sure what's happening on the snowfields because we've had a bit of rain down here and there's been some colder weather and they were opening. There's restrictions in the snowfields, but they were, as in the number of people, etc. But they were opening them this week. So I don't know what the snow situation has been. It's weird. Every now I've worked in a couple of places. Sometimes I have people work with who are fucking obsessed about ski season. Fucking obsessed. Charlie, you've never seen real snow. Honestly, I only have once. when I was at school, seniors got to do this week-long excursion thing to the snowfields, the snowy mountains. And when I was in a senior, it was a drought, so we might not have got snow, but we actually got some decent snow. So my one time like skiing in snow, I was about 17. You know what you should do, Charlie? When travel is open, particularly if we get our Australia-New Zealand travel bubble, go to New Zealand because it's cheaper. Flying to New Zealand and going to their snowfields is cheaper than going to the snowfields in Australia, or was last time I looked. And they have much more spectacular snowfields. That would be my recommendation. Save a few pennies and go to New Zealand for the snow season, because New Zealand's just fucking beautiful, and their mountains and snow is more spectacular than Australia's. So, mega glacier snowed in coastal city of Devonport a few years ago. Very rare. Yes, something about the sea makes snow unusual. Invisible Chicken, you saw snow in Japan. Feeling Sheila, you're in New Zealand. There you go. Yeah, no, beautiful country. And the mountains and the snow is much more spectacular than Australia's. Look, never seen real snow, but you did freeze at the Ararat. Yes, Ararat's pretty fucking cold. Usually elevator looking at Hotham. Going to go on a light plane there tomorrow, but one of the other passengers had to pull out because of marriage problems. Oh, damn. Okay. So, yeah, it's called off. Damn it. Oh, well, suffer you, born in Siberia, lived in Ukraine. You were... I'm thinking of Bane. You're on a holiday in the snow. I was born to it. That's my really shitty Bane impression. Dingle Scottish Highlands get snow. Yes. Laugh at London freaking out over a single snowflake. Yes. Meteorologist. Justin, hey, good evening. I suppose I got really light snow when I was at college. In Bathurst, I met Aidsy. I was there 4 years, and there was light snow 3 out of the 4 winters I was there. But it was very light. It's not really like coating everything in snow. Being a place where everything's coated in snow, really only the once on that school excursion I mentioned. And when I holidayed in New Zealand, didn't really play in the snow, did go walking on a glacier, which was pretty fucking cool. I really enjoyed that. How's Azy? I haven't heard from him for a little while. I am going to call him tomorrow because I will be working in the city really quite close to the hospital where he is shacked up. So I haven't heard from him for a couple of days. I'm not sure what's happening. I bet Feel and Feel big tourism campaigns telling Kiwis to go and holiday locally and spend money, trying to get the economy to go. Yes, and I hope Victoria stops spoiling things soon. We are getting, again, it's weird, like 20 cases being reported a day, which is concerning, because that's the thing with this fucking virus. If its growth is unchecked, its growth is exponential. So while 20 people contracting the virus is not a big deal, exponential growth of infections is a big deal. Annette, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. So yeah, we're right on the edge of, Jesus, is this going to get serious or is it going to be under control? As you were saying at the start, they're going to be bloody huge amounts of testing in the most affected areas. And you have friends in Sydney freaking out. Oh, dear. That's a worry. Oh, yeah, and Qantas is having a run. Well, obviously, airlines are fucked at the moment. I mean, what was the latest? Let's consult the news. ADF to help with testing blitz. Fewer boots on the ground. Oh my God, aren't the fucking trash conservative media having fun being able to say one of the family clusters, the spread was the product of an Eid celebration? There you go. Victoria records, that's a lot, 33 new cases. So, ninth consecutive day of double-digit increases. That's not good. So, is it Keilor Downs, Broadmeadows, Maidstone, Albanvale, Sunshine West, Hallam, Brunswick West, Fawkner, Reservoir, Pakenham have high rates of community transmission. So they're going to focus testing on Keilor Downs and Broadmeadows, and then over the others over 10 days, aiming to test 10,000 people a day. Victoria has, just in those suburbs, Victoria has been processing 18,000 tests a day. We'll ramp it up to 25,000 a day. I love it. They're just going, oh, the state's coronavirus is spiraling out of control, and it's not good. Yeah, there's still relatively small numbers that could be contained. I love it. Musical Aviator, that various quote from Gladys Berejiklian, New South Wales Premier, saying, don't interact with people from Melbourne. Just good advice, really. You know, nothing to do with COVID, just good advice. Oh, it's all a bit of a worry. Yeah. It's more likely than not that these little clusters of community transmission will be completely contained. It might take a while. It is. There is a very small chance it could get well and truly out of control. Very small chance, but it is possible, and really prompt action will be required to stop it from getting out of control. But like we're worried about, Jesus, 33 new cases, and the US recorded another 800 deaths yesterday. So what the fuck? Dingle Joe, do you find it funny a lot of the quacks have gone curiously quiet during the pandemic? Not even a bullshit peep from Bill Gibson. Oh, dude, you haven't been watching. The fucking crazy people have been out in force. Notably in Australia, this clown, Pete Evans, has gone full QAnon. Sunbear, virologist warned us decades ago against fucking with animals. Well, interestingly, people's reactions to this particular pandemic, we've seen the entire spectrum, from a disturbing number of people saying not just that it's no big deal, but that it's not real, that this is all fake. And that's terrifying to me, that people can deeply believe something so stupid, led by the United States president, is fucking terrifying. So that's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is not just this is really a serious threat. But yeah, there was an interesting one the other day. Someone and he wasn't lying. He was saying Oh, dude, this is fucking nothing. We are just dancing on razor blades with, and he was singling out poultry farms. He's saying it is almost inevitable that sometime in the next couple of decades, an avian virus is going to cross over to humans, and it will just be fucking devastating. Like, it will be civilization collapsing, Black Plague levels of death. And okay, that might never happen, but it is actually a possibility. Might never happen, but you can't credibly say it's impossible. But yeah, so he was fun. Justin, you say the Vic border should be shut. I don't know that's the thing. I don't know. Oh, Pete Evans got sacked from My Kitchen Rules ages ago, a month ago, and he's just been acting like a fucking lunatic ever since. It's like getting fired from his TV gig. So any semblance of rationality has just departed from him, and he's gone full conspiracy mode. Someone just needs to shoot him up with horse tranquilizers. Oh yeah, and Annette, yeah, people saying it's a con. Charlie, you saw someone saying the virus is a cash row. It is the range of paranoid reactions to the virus is fucking terrifying, because there is a good third of the population that's just fucking disconnected from reality. This is not a difference of opinion. Like, I go up, you get people whose opinions are so different than this isn't opinion. These people who radically assert something that's demonstrably untrue, that there is no evidence whatsoever to support, and all the evidence contradicts them. And it's just stupid as fuck, but they say it's true. It's just like humans are fucking doomed. Justin, you're on the wrong track there, thinking humans have a resistance to virus from animals. No, that's our greatest threat. Viruses jumping from animals to humans, which then is a completely new disease that humans have never been exposed to, so have no resistance for it. That's the big question, Strictly Sega. Are people worse now, or is it just more visible now? Personally, I believe people are worse now, and I mean much, 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 much worse. Not even slightly worse. I think the anti-vaxxers, the flat earthers, the conspiracy lunatics are much worse than these. There's always been around. There's always been a percentage of people who literally believed in fairies, who literally believed there was a secret hidden valley where giants roamed. There was, Arthur Conan Doyle's Lost World where dinosaurs still roamed. That there were a subterranean race of lizard people who were still alive. And those things have always been around, but they were tiny, 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 tiny fringe things. You look around now, and it honestly seems to be because a combination of the internet is the greatest bullshit machine in history, and conservative media and conservative politicians have just gotten extremely shameless with spreading lies to advance their positions, that now it's like a third of the population is just fucking disconnected from reality. Invisible Chicken, feel free to disagree, because it's impossible to empirically prove. That's my feeling. I'm not going to cause a big thing if you disagree, because neither of us can actually prove it one way or the other. Yes, and that's a big thing. People are afraid of things like vaccinations can find people disease. So I've always said the best thing about the internet is also the worst thing about the internet. Like when I grew up in a country town, it's so isolating. If you were even slightly different, you were so alone, and that really sucked. Now no one's alone. Like, if you're a queer kid in the most conservative environment imaginable, you can find a community online. No matter who you are, you can find your people online. Unfortunately, that includes, worshipping Hitler, thinking the earth is flat, and that lizard people run everything. No matter how stupid or outrageous your delusional thinking is, you will find someone who agrees with you and will reinforce your stupid delusional beliefs. And that's really disturbing. Charlie, we got vaccines from cows in the first place. I think you are actually correct, Charlie. I'm not sure on the details, but that sounds right. Yes, Invisible Chicken Australia is a hoax. Although I'm sure that one was a joke. Timothy Scandinavian believe Thor had a hard-on for killing giants. Well, what's that joke? You see, like, politician X promised this, politician Y promised this, Thor promised to rid the world of ice giants. I don't see any ice giants. Do you? Vote Thor. Strictly speaking, you go to the country for a couple of weeks here to visit your grandma, and crickets. Venga fights a very strong feeling. Country is weird. Yes, Luke, you can declare yourself to be a pretty pink pony, and people will agree with you. Just going to segue with, speaking of pretty pink ponies, I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to get this one that I made last night and try it. I haven't tried it properly, so I'm not sure what it's like. Just very slightly yellow. And it will taste nicer if I put it in a pretty glass. Well, I will put it in my Nick and Nora glass. No one's gonna... Yes, feeling New Zealand is not a state of Australia. It's a state of mind. Safa, you like crickets sounds? They can. I'm thinking of cicadas, actually, can be very loud. Crickets can be pretty loud. Justin, what do I think of the chances the virus will be solely responsible for taking down Trump at the election? Won't be solely responsible for taking Trump down, but it will be a contributing factor, I think. Strictly Sega doing a basic JD and Coke. Nothing wrong with the basics. Don't usually drink dark liquor. Prefer your vodkas and gins. Music Aviator, you hope when Trump leaves the presidency, next president does not grant pardons. Outdated farm equipment. Do I drink Bundy rum at all? I don't have any Bundy rum. Wow, that's interesting. This is actually a rum drink. This is overproof rum. So it's got 2 shots of overproof rum in it. I think I can taste the coconut more now. You can definitely still taste the rum. Ooh, Feeling and Taylor having Malibu and orange juice. That's an interesting combo. Yeah, most people diss Bundy rum, particularly the standard one. I think some people like the overproof Bundy. I do have a Queensland rum, Beanley, which is really quite nice. Beanley 5-year-old. I'm trying to get more and more Australian drink. Kirsten drinking a Lark Classic Cask. Nice. I only made this last night. What? Oh, this is the Goombay Smash. So this has got overproof rum, The coconut rum liqueur. It's not really coconut rum. It's which is actually probably just neutral grain spirit with coconut flavor in it. It wasn't an expensive beverage. It's orange curacao, pineapple juice, a lot of pineapple juice. It's about half pineapple juice, and lime juice. Here's Mega Leach, better on the tummy, clarified. For anyone who wasn't in the live stream last night, I made this drink last night. I made 2 drinks last night. And it's not that this tasted bad. It didn't. But something was just telling me, oh, no, this is a bit much. Tummy feels a bit funny. Don't drink it. And so for fun, I clarified it. And it's clarified really nicely. I think the coconut flavors come up a bit more. I mean, obviously the pineapple and the rum are still both there because they're the 2 dominant things in there. But yeah, I mean, the overproof rum has real kick to it. So yeah. But yeah, this is really good. Strictly Sega, when you worked at Etihad Stadium, it's Marvel Stadium now, I think. Every night after the footy, the bar would stink of Bundy rum. Yes, I can see that. Luke, you've had the overproof Bundy. Yeah, no, Strictly Sega. It's Marvel, as in Marvel Comics. Bought the naming rights for the stadium a couple of years ago now. Marvel Stadium. So, yeah, I love the clarification process. Makes it a completely different drink, both visually and taste-wise. It's really quite amazing. Yeah, like this does not taste like it has 2 shots of overproof rum in it, but it does. Yes, it is a nice beverage. Kind of a yes. I always mention that I'm kind of. This should work. Actually, I've never made a clarified drink using blood orange juice as the citrus, as the acid content. Ingredients: 100% blood orange juice. I need to make a cocktail with this and then clarify it. So I want to see if it totally takes the red color out. Yeah, to see if it just goes orange or something. Safa, can you clarify beer? I wouldn't, because it's a fizzy drink and flat beer tastes terrible. The clarifying is for spirituous liqueurs. Feeler and Sealer, what liquor goes with prune juice? Been drinking prune juice to go regular. Prune juice is quite sweet, yeah. Hell, let's ask Google. Prune juice cocktail. Sugar plum martini. Well, that sounds good. Don't know if it is, but it's a nice name. Sugar plum martini. Let's okay, so sugar plum martini is vodka, prune juice, Grand Marnier, lemon juice. So it says, okay, this is not a single person drink. This is a big thing that makes a couple drinks. So it's 1 cup of vodka, 1 1/4 cups of prune juice, 1/4 of a cup of Grand Marnier, juice of 1 lemon, 4 frozen prunes. Okay, and so if you were going to convert that to a cocktail, a single drink, it would be 1 ounce of vodka, 1¼ ounces of prune juice, 1/4 ounce of Grand Marnier or some other orange liqueur, Cointreau, triple sec, Curacao, and juice of 1 lemon. So about half an ounce of lemon juice, I'd say. That sounds like it might be pretty good, actually. Prune juice cocktail. Outdated pharmacopoeia. What's my thought on having overseas travellers processed offshore to stop corona coming in the country, as some people have called for? Yeah, I mean, I think we're putting them in hotels. It seems like some of the conditions need to be monitored a bit better. It seems like the people working security at the hotels aren't observing proper precautions because they keep getting sick. I think what's happening now with isolating the people in a hotel room for 2 weeks is a pretty good option. Oh, Justin, you're going to get tonsils out. It could be causing sleep apnea. I'm pretty sure I have sleep apnea and it just hasn't been diagnosed. You get one of those, again, do another Bane impression, get one of those bloody ventilator masks they put you on to get rid of sleep apnea. I think Mrs. Angry would appreciate it if I wasn't snoring. Oh, yeah, feeling sure that's a lot. But yeah, cut it down to those single measurements. So a sugar plum martini cocktail would be 1 ounce or 30 mils of vodka, 1¼ ounces of prune juice, so 35 to 40 mils of prune juice, 1/4 ounce of Grand Marnier, so that's like 7½ mils, about 15 mils of fruit juice, lemon juice, and that's it. That actually sounds like a pretty good drink. That honestly sounds like a pretty good drink. Are we talking about the drunks after a football game on trains? Yes, that would be gross. That's it, Selumi, a CPAP mask. I was calling it the Bane mask, but the proper name is a CPAP mask. Feeler and Celia on CPAP, spontaneous sex somewhat reduced. You got to role play. Be Bane. Just role play Bane. Just spice up your sex life with some role playing. I give terrible advice. I just give the worst advice. No one should ever listen to me. Safi, you reckon the Russian health system's even worse than the US? That's depressing. So what was the other prune? There were other prune juice cocktails here. I think that first. Oh my God, this one's funny. Okay. You're probably all prison hooch or aware of the idea that prisoners have very dodgy and dangerous ways to brew up alcohol in prisons. And prison hooch is called Pruno. There's a term that's just called Pruno. So, see, Feeler and Sealer, don't give me lines like that. You might choke yourself on the hose. That's a thing, isn't it? Choking? People are into that? Not me, but I've heard. Yeah, so Pruno is the nickname for prison hooch, which is really dangerous and will send you blind. But desperate times in prison. This website, the different site that I always get recipes from, they've got a drink which would be pronounced Pruno, but it's like with the French spelling, Pruneaux. That's fucking hilarious. I actually, that is a good joke. That is a good joke. So this is 1½ shots of gin, 1 shot of Amontillado sherry, 1/2 shot of Pedro Jimenez sherry. It's a lot of sherry. 3/4 of a shot of orange juice and 3/4 of a shot of prune syrup from tinned fruit. So if you're using prune juice rather than prune syrup, fuck off the orange juice and just do 1.5 shots of prune juice. So that's gin, sherry, 1.5. Yeah, okay. Actually, unless you are a big sherry drinker and have a bunch of different fucking sherries in your house, who does? I don't know. This one, Pruno, would be 1.5 shots gin, 1.5 shots sherry, 1.5 shots prune juice. That could work. I kind of think the other one might be better, but that would work as well. Yes, that's it, Strictly Sega. Bloody some role playing as Bane. That would work. Tickled your fancy, Strictly Sega, with the Bane role play. Well, it is not the weirdest thing I've heard in terms of what people get up to in the bedroom. Yeah, there you go. There's 2 prune juice cocktails. And look, the thing is, it's the ratios. So like that sugar plum martini, that's to make, a drink this big. If you're making yourself a highball, just double those measures and top it up with lemonade. I bet that's a good fucking drink. So 2 ounces of vodka, 2.5 ounces of prune juice, 1/2 ounce of Grand Marnier, 1 ounce of lemon juice, and top it up with lemonade. I bet that's a good drink. Lots of ice. If you're there in Syria, you don't know if your wife want to put on a Batman costume. Put on a Catwoman costume, Ooh, nice. Salumi making a vegan chocolate cake. Chocolate vegan cake would be something different. That's like a vegan's been chopped up and put into a chocolate cake. That's not good. Well, okay, Kirsten, you have 2 sherries. You also have 50 gins. So you're cheating. You're in the industry. Safi, you thought I said cherries. No, you should never have 2 cherries in the house. That is too many cherries. Strictly Sega can't be bothered cooking dinner. Tonight was takeout night here, burgers and stuff tonight. Justin, you found a friend who wasn't out. Oh, wow. Okay. They're not out, but they're on Grindr. Yikes. Okay. I stand corrected. Kirsten said I have to wash my mouth out for saying she has 50 gins because she has over 100 gins. Okay. I stand corrected. I always think when you think of Grindr as like when I say the ridiculous press conference Bob Catter had, it's hard to pin him down. One of the ridiculous press conference Bob Catter had, where he went off on one of his bizarre tangents about the gays, and he's like, yeah, nothing against them, but he's like, I represent my electorate. There's no one gay in my electorate. It's like, dude, you just wanted one of the journos to get their phone out and like open Grindr and say, hey, Bob, have you heard of Grindr? Okay, I'm going to say anyone within 2 kilometers of where we are now, and it'd be like, bing, 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 bing. Bob, hate to break it to you. That's the ratio. That's the ratio you should have in your house, Strictly Sega. 1 sherry per 50 gins. Yes. So for example, why Catter gets like, look, Bob Catter, for all his weirdness, I believe this, he genuinely cares about who he sees as his constituency, far more than the majority of politicians do. And Bob Catter's flaws are many and profound, but I do believe he's genuinely committed to who he sees as his constituency. It's just that he's been such an outsider and such a fringe person his whole career. He has this tendency to have a sort of paranoid persecution complex and go off the rails really quickly. And if he could get that under control, he'd be okay. But he's just, I think it's just because he's been an outsider his whole career. He's prone to say and do really extreme things because he feels like he's being persecuted. He's a weird one. Luke, there's dating sites for cyclists. There are very narrowly focused dating websites out there, getting people to have particular interests to hook up. Yes, it's an interesting question about dating. Like, should you date someone with the same interests as you? And so if you're looking at a dating site, should you go to a dating site that caters for your particular interests? Or should you try and broaden your horizons and find someone on a dating site that is outside your interests? Oh, that's okay. I think that's a happy ending, Justin. Even though your friend was on Grindr and not out, you hooked up anyway. So I call that a happy ending right there, possibly literally. Oh, Charlie, you think Kata has Queensland disease? It melts the brain. Queensland can have a strange effect on people. It certainly is true. Oh, Safa, boomer. Kata is the epitome of boomers. But Kata is like peak boomer. That was okay. Okay. I will be honest. That wasn't great. It was okay. Yeah. I didn't hate it. But yeah, on my ranking scale out of 10, that's probably only a 6. It's like I didn't hate it, but I am not gonna make it again. It just didn't tickle my fancy. So that's a 6 out of 10. I don't regret it. It wasn't bad, but I'm not gonna make the effort of making it again, basically. You're right, Luke. People meet in all different ways. All right. Oh, geez, I can actually feel that, though. All right, I'm going to have one more. Oh, what else have I got? What have I got? Which one will I do? Which one is this? I'm trying to work out which one is which. All right, I think this is the chocolate one. I like the chocolate one. I fucking love the chocolate ones. I'm going to do a really desserty one, I've decided, because the ones made with creme de cacao are so good. I'm going to make a really desserty one. It's just creme de cacao and fruit flavor. I think fruit and nuts. So it's creme de cacao, the macadamia liqueur, and some fruit flavors, maybe banana. So it'd be like a banana split. Yeah, banana split. So banana liqueur, creme de cacao for the chocolate syrup, and mac for the nuts sprinkled on top. That sounds like a winner. That was his great quote, Strictly Say Yeah. Well, you let there be 1,000 blossoms bloomed as far as I'm concerned. I ain't spending any time on it because in the meanwhile, every 3 months a person's torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland, which I don't think is even true. But even if it was, like 1 every 3 months is hardly a big deal. Ah, oh dear. Silumi, you felt bougie because you bought vanilla extract and not essence. Yes, Luke, I've seen flirting go on in this chat too. Not pointing any fingers because they're not here tonight, but fuck yes. See, that's the difference straight away. That last one is not bad, 6 out of 10. This one, the first sip is like, fuck yes. Oh, that's 9. That is a 9 right there. If you didn't see this, Vic going through the toilet paper shortage. The supermarkets, apparently like the instant there was a suggestion of absolute fucking morons doing panic buying again, the supermarkets imposed item limits so they won't run out of toilet paper. I'm so fucking annoyed by that. Cherry cocktail. I make cherry cocktails. I've got cherry liqueur down there. Maraschino liqueur. Kirsten has a delicious cherry gin. There you go. A cherry Bakewell flavored cocktail. That would be interesting. What flavors would we put? Because a cherry Bakewell has almond, right? So I'm thinking a cherry Bakewell would be cherry and vanilla and nut flavor. Again, I don't have an almond liqueur, but I do have the macadamia nut liqueur. So that would be another one. And I've got a vanilla flavored liqueur as well. For me, off the top of my head, a cherry Bakewell would be maraschino. With what I have, it'd be maraschino, cherry liqueur, Liquor 43, which is like a honey and vanilla, and the Mac, which is macadamia, because I don't have an almond liqueur, but I have a nut liqueur. That's what I'd make with a cherry Bakewell. And now, what is this? I don't even remember. Okay, I just know it's got brown creme de cacao in it, and that's the really dominant flavor. Oh wow, Kirsten, those 3 liquors and whiskey. Oh yes. Yes, Feeler and Sealer. I don't think that is a stupid question. What's almond milk? They don't have nipples. The old joke I saw someone saying getting almond milk, and someone says, "How do you milk an almond anyway?" He says, "Well, you have to have a very low stool and be polite and warm your hands first." All almond milk is almonds that have been soaked in water. So basically, the almonds are soaked in water, and the water takes a lot of flavor from the almonds, and then you filter out any solids, and you've got almond milk. Luke, cherry reminds you of kids' medicine. That is true. That is very true. That's actually a pretty good tip, Kirsten. Those 3 liqueurs and a whiskey, and need to put some citrus in there so the actual clarification would happen. Actually, well, just as a cocktail, I think that would be good. But I think I'm going to make a cherry Bakewell now we've done this. So yeah, I think maraschino, Liquor 43, and Mac, and then some whiskey to give it a bit of oomph. That'd be pretty good. And I also think that would be good clarified as well. But I think I definitely want to do like a banana sundae that's got banana and Mac and creme de cacao. So that's the banana, chocolate, and nuts. So these are projects. Might make those over the weekend. I tell you what, I might make it. I tell you what, tomorrow night, I'll test run these. I'll do a cherry Bakewell and banana sundae. And I think, Kirsten, you're on the money from a cocktail point of view to give it a bit of kick, some whiskey as well. Maybe my Starward whiskey, Starward Twofold. I will make those tomorrow night. And because if they're good, make them add them to my date night cocktail menu, because I try to update the cocktail menu every second week when Mrs. Angry and I are having an at-home isolation date night rather than going out anywhere. And even though we could go out now, we're not going to. Not just with these. Not that there have been any cases traced to restaurants or anything, and not that we're in a hot spot, just not going to do it though. But we'll get takeout from one of the nice places. So I think I will do tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'll do test runs for date night cocktails, particularly Cherry Bakewell and Banana Sundae. Banana Sundae should have rum in it, I think. I won't do the overproof. I think I'll just do the Beanley rum. Yeah, okay. So Cherry Bakewell is going to have whiskey in it, and the Banana Sundae is going to have rum in it. Cool. I know what I'm doing on the live stream. Friday night's party night. Man, I think I'll record them. I think I will record them because they could make good cocktails for my YouTube channel. Fiona watching the cogs move in my head while thinking of cocktail favors. Get faced with sacrificing one of your senses. Taste would not be an option. Well, smell and taste go hand in hand. But yeah, by the same token, I'd be very upset if I lost my hearing, because I really like music. And losing my sight would be a bummer, because it would make it very hard to edit videos, wouldn't it? I mean, seriously, like knife to my throat, I'd probably go with sight. And I'd really miss sight if I lost sight. But if you go with taste, smell, hearing, and sight, I'd be leaning towards sight. I don't know. People probably think you're crazy if you say you'd rather give up sight than taste. Oof. It's just a really hard choice, actually. Strictly say you're fun and sexy for date night. Yes, definitely. Yep. All right. So tomorrow night I'm going to do test runs, and if they work as cocktails, I'll add them to the date night cocktail. Also, if I make them without like lemon, I don't think those will need lemon or lime. If I'm going to clarify them, I'll need to add lemon or pine. I might add pineapple to them, because that's just a bit sugary. But if they work as a cocktail, I don't think they'll need juice in them. Yeah, and then that would be good for Mrs. Angry because citrus gives her heartburn. So that would be another good one for her. So this is like a double, triple win coming up here if these cocktails work anyway. Musical elevator, taste, smell, hearing, or sight. Don't need taste to pass a pilot medical. Kind of need hearing and sight. Yes. See, in your context, you clearly give up taste. I'd be worried. I'm sort of on board with what you're saying, Megaleech. You'd lose taste. You should be less tempted by food. I would just be worried about how depressed I would get, not being able to taste anything. Yeah, I'd be really worried about how depressed I'd get. Dingledale, you'd surrender thermoception, keep the other perceptions, lose your sense of touch. That's just very dangerous. That is very dangerous. You could get fatally injured without realizing it. Oh, and Salomi's got the cake in the oven. Nice. Vegan chocolate cake. Fuck, that's good. All right. So actually, that's a whole drink. What's the time? 9:30. Fuck it. I don't even remember what's in this one, but I don't think it's quite so alcoholic. That first one I had, which had 2 shots of fucking overproof rum, that was pretty strong. Dingle Dodo, you studied the philosophy of perception. That just sounds interesting. Oh gosh, Charlie, you'd actually choose to lose hearing. You love music, but misophonia sucks. Yep. I can see that. Feeling zero, thinking of your health, you'd give up taste. Yeah, you're going with Megaleech's thinking. Strictly Sega, being blind is a bit dangerous. Can get hit by a tram. Well, there are all the sayings that blind people develop sharper perceptions of other things. I would not like to be blind. I really wouldn't. Yeah. God, I'm half fucking deaf as it is. And that's not a joke, by the way, of hearing damage from, well, 2 things: ear infections I had as a kid and standing too close to speaker stacks at rock concerts. And this year in particular, I'm half deaf in. And this one has slightly damaged hearing. Lucas Trooper got a corona test today. Oh shit! You got the people coming as saying. I love the idea of saying they said you had to force the test on you. I love the idea you just opened the door and they just tackled you and jammed a swab up your nose. Man. That's your suburb, man. High risk zone. Oh yeah, Dingle Dotty. I know you're right. The whole 5 senses is not real. And with your study, you'd be in a better position to actually talk about. See, I was talking from the mundane point of view, quite honestly. Good question, Megaleech. If you lost taste, could you still feel the chilies on the way out? I think so, because that's not a taste. That's an actual pain receptor thing. Like, I think you'd still get even if you didn't have a sense of taste, you'd still get the sense of pain from chilies eating them because you'd still have the pain receptors. Strictly saying you only have one eye can be annoying. Depth perception. With one eye, clearly you can still see, but depth perception is a real thing. Like a stripper, they virtually did tackle you and jam it up your nose. Well, you'll be out of there soon, man. You got your house ready, which is fucking great news. Annette, they're going to come to your house too? Gonna have to wear pants all day. I was still in my bathrobe, not today, yesterday. I ordered some shirts online, shop that I was on the mailing list for because I got a few shirts from there and I like them. And they had a sale, these 3 shirts for $60. And I looked at the catalog and there were some shirts I really liked. And so I bought 3 shirts. They're like date night shirts, dressing up and looking good in them. And so I ordered 3 shirts for the $60. And it only took a couple of days, arrived yesterday. And it was so funny. The doorbell rang. I was still in my bathroom. It's like 10 a.m. and I haven't gotten dressed yet. I'm working. I'm having meetings well, it's not Skype, it's Microsoft Teams. But everyone knows what you mean if you say you're having Skype meetings. But I didn't have the camera on; it was just microphone. And I haven't bothered to have a shower or put clothes on. I'm still in bathrobe, and the doorbell rings. I'm like, shit, that's my delivery. I'm still in my bathrobe. It's like, fuck it. Just go to the door. Dude gives me the package, and yeah, Mrs. Angry goes, is that another bottle of something? I go, no, you'll be pleased to hear this is not booze. I actually ordered some shirts. So for once, not that I had that many. I think I had 3 deliveries in the last month that were booze. That's not that many, is it? 3 in the last month? Ugh. No, actually, Luke, Homer Simpson drinking wax would work because the wax coats all the surface, so you're not going to feel anything. Look, it should be good. A Western suburb story, man. I love it. Happened to you yesterday. Local pizza place. There was a naked man running around the pizza store. You like the size? Okay, that's pretty colorful. That is pretty colorful. Naked dude in the pizza shop. Okay, Dingle Daddy's going to tell us the actual perception: vision, audition, olfaction, gustation, tactile perception, pain, balance, proprioception, thermoception, and body movement. Roughly the primary senses over there. Okay, you need to explain proprioception to me, Dingle Doty. That one, I got all the rest, but that one, I don't know. Very Invisible Chicken, your dad's getting annoyed at you buying things online. I tell you, Mrs. Angry is always getting books and stuff, and she got some shoes online. I felt jealous, so I just started ordering stuff online. I wanted special things to arrive for me. And it was mostly booze. Although, like I said, this time, shirts. Much better. Strictly Sega, hating pants. Hate the pants. See, Lumi, did your baking make the cat psycho? Locust Troop, you think the naked dude was on drugs? You have it on video. Run around. Dude, there you go. Put it on the internet. Viral video time. Naked dude in the pizza shop. That seems like the sort of thing that would go viral. This is fucking good, man. I just got to throw it out there again. This is fucking good. So I had... I used to mostly get white creme de cacao because it's clear. It doesn't change the color of a cocktail. And the visual part of a cocktail is a big thing. There is also brown creme de cacao, which tastes slightly different. And some cocktails say use brown creme de cacao. So I eventually bought some, but I don't use it very much. And yeah, the idea only occurred to me recently. Ooh, I'm going to use brown creme de cacao in a clarified cocktail. And it's fucking great. So I think I'm going to end up going through the brown creme de cacao, making clarified cocktails. But anyway. Locust Trooper, can you make money on viral videos about the western suburbs? I don't know that you can make much money from a naked pizza dude, but I think it would certainly spread around the world. Oh, no. Oh, right. Your cat's gone a bit antsy because he thinks the baking means people are coming, but you baked it for work, not for visitors to the house. Aha. Oh, now we're sharing nude stories. Invisible Chicken saw a streaker on New Year's Eve one year running through a hotel lobby, having New Year's with the manager. There you go. Yeah, Annette saw a naked dude running down King Street, Newtown one night. Not as uncommon as you might expect. Or sharing. What have I seen? Where have I seen someone nude? Trying to think if I have any good nude stories. There you go. Megaleech has got one. The other night, a streaker ran through the Macca's drive-through, grabbed an order from the service house. Oh, Jesus. Do I have a good nude story? Oh, I just went to like an anarchist Christmas party once, and people started spontaneously dancing nude. Does that count? Yeah. Locust Trooper, there's a junkie pissing in the middle of Ballarat Road. Yeah. Yeah, no, fucking when I was living out there, I had obvious meth heads fucking hassle me in supermarket car parks and whatnot. Not good. Not good. Strictly Sega, you took a Japanese tourist group to St Kilda to see Luna Park Mouth. As we came down the steps, there was a hippie, fully naked with dreads, pissing in the middle of the street. Excellent. I love that we're now all sharing nude stories. I would not have predicted that that would be such a big part of that chat, but it appears we all have nude stories. Because it's a thing that happens. Classically, not so much now, but definitely like in the 70s and 80s, streakers at sporting events was a thing. Yeah, like the international cricket and soccer matches and whatnot. Okay, Dingle you're filling me in. Proprioception is a body perception for limb position and movement, different from body movement, acceleration being that much. So proprioception is just being aware of the parts of your body. I'm aware that I have arms and legs and I can feel them and I know where they are. Okay, fuck, yeah, okay, cool. Strictly Sega, it's always a different type of chat, man. That's what I like about it. Yes, Megaleech, streaked in the shower. There's an old Andy Capp line. For those who don't know, Andy Capp is a very popular long-running newspaper comic strip about a largely unemployed working-class alcoholic man. And he had one where he's talking about his wife's mother is a bit weird and a bit of a prude. And he says basically if she had her way, she'd have people arrested for running around stark naked under their clothes. But yeah. Strictly Sega, you miss Melbourne, but it's dirty compared to over here. I've forgotten, where is over here? Where are you that Melbourne is very dirty by comparison? So Lumi, bus home from work, saw a lady running down Hutt Street. She was so happy, guessing hallucinogenics were involved. Yes. She was nude and loving life. Yes, Feeler and Sealer. Andy Capp had a lot of encounters with Rolling Pin. He was a wife beater. He was an alcoholic. He was violent. Yeah, not good. Like Tribute, a guy in Corroy Creek, chuck a long shit. Oh my God. You were going for a jog and someone was taking a shit in Corroy Creek. That's not good. Strictly Sega in Mandurah, Western Australia. Right. Used to live in Fairfield. Yeah, I guess I'm so used to Melbourne, I don't realize how dirty it is. Let's think. See, Lumi, it was a Friday. Literally, the whole bus did a double take because we didn't believe what we were seeing at 4 p.m. There you go. Oh, Safa asking the big questions. What are the fines in each state for being nude? Probably depends on context. I remember in one office building, this was quite a while ago, but the office building where I was working across the road was like a boutique hotel, which had a pool on the rooftop. It was only about 5 stories high, this little boutique hotel with a pool on the roof. And it was surrounded by much taller buildings, which apparently people on the pool weren't really conscious of, because word got around the office shenanigans were happening by the pool. And there was a couple by the pool, and the chick was giving the dude a blowjob by the pool. And so was at that side of the building looking out the windows going, they have no idea they are in plain sight. And I was just laughing. It's like, it's a wonder this building hasn't fallen over, because probably everyone on every floor above like the 6th floor can see that, and everyone's over one side of the building, where the building's going to overbalance and collapse. And there were buildings all around this little boutique hotel that would have had the same view. So yeah, you're never alone. And in fact, these days, if you ever do anything outdoors, you should assume you're on camera. And so if it wasn't in Dubbo, it was in Melbourne. The tallest building in Dubbo is only about 5 stories high. There are no high buildings in Dubbo. It's a weird thing. Well, I suppose that's most country towns. No one bothers because it's expensive and logistically difficult to build multi-story buildings. And in country towns where real estate's cheap, you just build wide buildings. Yes, I thought it was so funny that this couple getting it on, and just with the nature of the buildings all around, they were in plain sight of hundreds of people. What they were lucky is this was a long time ago. This is before mobile phones had good cameras. If that happened today, these people would be fucking famous because dozens of people would have taken high def video of their shenanigans by the pool and uploaded it to porn sites, and these people would be famous. Strictly say there used to be a brothel right next to Macca's and Clifton Hill. The biggest surprise I got, because you can have legal brothels in Melbourne. There are still some illegal ones; they get shut down, but there are a lot of legal brothels. I was working at a place. This was a few years back. It was just off St Kilda Road, just opposite the park where the Grand Prix is, Albert Park. So it's like Albert Park, the office where I was, and St Kilda Road, and so this is the first time I'd worked in this area. So I got there and I'd take little walks at lunchtime to get some fresh air. And St Kilda Police Station was really close by, but just behind St Kilda Police Station, there were 3 different brothels. I had no idea. And I didn't know there would be that much trade for them in this area. They were all legal. They were all openly brothels. They weren't secret. So there were 3 legal brothels in a really small area, which I was quite surprised by. Like Stripper used to fuck escorts with a window up in the middle of the city. Dude, it's a transaction as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, if you're talking about in a car in the middle of the city, that'll get you in trouble. Annette, did the Clifton Hill brothel get shut down? I have no idea. Oh, okay. So it's like a cat settled down, settling for pats, and he's watching. Good. Charlie used to have a lot of car sex caught twice by the same cop. Just chill about it. I think you found it funny. Oh, no. I know someone who was having an affair and was doing it in the car, and they got busted and actually had to show up in court. So, which of course made their spouse find out about the affair. Ooh, very, very bad. Very bad. Ooh, Locust Trooper, that's your thing. Oh, what they call that in the UK? Dogging, parking a car and having sex in a public place and getting off on people watching. Hey, everyone's got their thing, man. The Scarlet Lady in Clifton Hill. There are so many brothels in Melbourne. I think I've said before the not my suburb, like suburb across the stripper shops there. I went there because I ended up being very disappointed. This place had advertised doing these cocktail what do you call them? Well, you know, the trying to remember, what was it when the kids were eating the detergent packs? You can actually seal drinks in little gelatin balls, and this place had advertised they had cocktails that were in these gelatin balls. So rather than being in a glass, you sort of put this gelatin ball in your mouth and bite into it, and a break in the cocktail releases into your mouth. And so booked in for dinner there and got there, and they didn't have these. And I was really pissed off. But the food was okay, but I'm never going back because I was pissed off. But anyway, this Tide Pods, thank you, Strictly Sagan. My brain blanked on it. And Megaleech, thank you. This little suburban strip wasn't that big, and there were 5 massage places there. And I was like, okay, no suburb has this much neck and back tension. There is no way these massage places are all legit. And then I know one of them had an angry sign in their window saying, "This business does not offer sexual services. This is strictly therapeutic massage. Do not ask for sexual services or the police will be called." And I went, only one of them has that sign. And I'm willing to bet the reason they have to have that sign is because the other 4 do offer sexual services, because this is just a fairly small suburban strip of shops, and there were 5 massage places. I assert no suburb has that much neck and back tension that they need that many massage places. So, yeah. Fiedler and Silla had kind of car sex on a date with a girl. There you go. 2 houses away from home. Didn't see future. Why not? I've done it. It was like as a joke, but it was like you're doing it ironically as a joke, but we did it. So this is a long time ago. Oh yeah, Silumi, South Australia not updating laws to make sex work safe and more protected. Keeps getting nowhere in state parliament. It's dumb. Yeah, and I think you're right. Considering how many politicians get involved in sex scandals, you'd think they'd want it legal, protected, and safe. But anyway. See, now we've moved on from the nude stories to brothel stories and car sex stories. I suppose those are actually fairly closely related, quite honestly. There's a nightclub. It's like a burlesque is the wrong word. They don't do burlesque. It's kind of a cabaret club. Friend Amy performs there sometimes. It's in the city in Melbourne, and I've been there a couple times. And it actually shares a wall with one of the best known legal brothels in Melbourne. So it's like really old sort of terrace style buildings. And, here's the brothel and here's this nightclub. And, they literally share a wall. And I do remember the MC one night, he was saying, he was actually explaining to the audience, in case you don't know, there's actually a brothel on the other side of the wall and the sound insulation is not that great. There are nights where I've heard someone really going for it in the next one. But what I like is that means they can hear us because we generally make more noise than us. So he goes, between acts and after songs and whatnot, I want you to cheer really loud because in my heart, I like to think that just as you cheer, like a guy's just finishing, just as you cheer. So as he goes, yes, yes, there's a rapturous round of applause. And he's going to remember that forever. Which I thought was quite good. But anyway, Strictly Sagers had sex on a tank, but can't remember doing it in the car. Well, tank's pretty good. Uncle Locust naughty stories. I guess we've all got our stories, really. I just I tend not to tell any, or at least very graphically, stories of my past just because it's going out there in public and just in case the person in question happens to see it and get really annoyed. So I tend not to really talk about it. Charlie had sex in a graveyard once. It was terrible because it was too cold. Oh, no. That's a super goth thing to do, sex in a graveyard. Oh, that's a good tip for you, Lencilla. Never have sex at the beach. Fucking sand in places you don't want it to be. I remember, I forget what the book was, but it had a sex scene and they're having sex on the beach. And it's like, oh, sweet. And then it's like, no, there's a grain of sand there. There's a couple grains of sand, isn't it? I'm trying to pretend there's not, but you can't ignore. No, I'm going to have to stop. And the guy pulls out and is going, he's looking at his dick going, I'm going to find these grains of sand and pick them off so we can go for it again. And the girl offers to help look for them. and he slips and basically falls not on the towel but in the sand. So his entire sticky crotch area is then covered in sand. It's all stuck to him. He's going, well, I guess that's it for the sex then. That's no more sex for us. But yes, that is a pretty good tip, that sex on a beach is a bad idea. Yes, Charlie, we can all channel Anakin Skywalker. Sand is coarse, rough, irritating, gets everywhere. Yes, the beach towel is good, but yes, sand, yes, Anakin knew what he was talking about. As bad as the dialogue in those movies was, the thing about sand is true. Oh, Annette, straight in there with do it in the water. Yes. Well, of course, you're somewhat gravity defying if you do it in water. So you can get quite adventurous if you do it in water. But weirdly, I've found in the past that water is like an anti-lubricant, interferes with body's natural lubrication. And yes, Charlie, good point. If it's windy, towel's not going to help you with sand. But there's only so much a towel can do. And sand does get everywhere. Sexual misadventures. Aren't they a wild thing? Weird and strange things. Sex is weird when you think about it. Luke, the sea is very salty. That is true. Like a strip, is it you or is my alcohol collection getting bigger? Nah, it's the same. It's the same-ish. Same-ish. It's kind of like empty one bottle, replace it. Although, yeah, because I've been tracking my alcohol purchases this year, and I bought like 30 bottles of stuff this year, which seems really full on when I say that. 30 bottles in 6 months. But the only one of those 30 bottles I've finished is a bottle of vermouth. So the rest are all still going. Although some are at their end. I bought a huge thing of Costco vodka in like February, and it's probably down to its last 200-300 mils. So yeah. So yeah, some of the ones I bought this year are getting close to running out, but I am tracking it just out of interest. A third cart. Yeah, I'm not going to get a third cart. Yes. No, there's space. Space has opened up a bit. But yeah, there's a lot there. As we guess on a quick head count, there's about 60 bottles there, 30 of which were bought this year. So yeah, that's a bit much. Looks true. We have the same collection. Yeah, there you go. Tricky say, yeah, storage unit. Well, that was the funny thing. I was mentioning earlier, those guys, the Whiskey Tribe. Modern Rogue put up a video of a tour of the Whiskey Tribe's Whiskey Vault, and they've got like literally thousands of bottles of whiskey, which is just fucking great. I love that they've got a thing and they're just fucking doing it. And they've got all the people who want to be part of it. It's fucking great. Luke, waiting for one of my kids to move out so I can use our room. Nah, I'm good. Luke Strubenho, I don't do weed, actually. Just not a thing I've ever done. So, the thing. Got to try the different types. Yeah, no, I've just never been, like, because I don't smoke anything. So, weed's just never been a thing for me. Particularly with it being legal in the States, if I went to the States, I would probably fucking go for one of the legal dispensaries. Not to smoke, because they have all the edibles. I'd probably really want to explore the edibles, actually, from the legal dispensaries in the States, and experiment with all the different things they have that are all supposed to. Oh, I've got to try and suppress that because I'm about to sign off, but that's all good. One yawn right at the end of a 2-hour live stream is not that bad. Yeah, I think if I was in the States, I would probably really get into visiting the legal dispensaries. I suppose it does seem like fun. Every now and then I see pictures of someone who's set up a home bar and has like really gone to town and made it look like a pub and stuff. And I see that and think, yeah, that'd be kind of fun to do that, to set up like a room or half a room in a house as a home bar. That'd be fun. Yes. Anyway, good night, everyone. It's been a fun time as always. I hope you've had a good time because I had a good time. And yeah, if you're available tomorrow night, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be here. Have a bit of a party Friday night. Let the hair down and go to town. Definitely gonna try those cocktails. Gonna try and do a cherry bakewell and a banana sundae. Oh my God, just yawning. Good thing I'm getting to bed now. Definitely going to try them. Going to try a cherry bakewell and a banana sundae, and probably try clarifying them as well, and see what's what with that. That ought to be interesting. See you after the weekend. Okay, yes, Formal Friday tomorrow, Annette, definitely. Lined up for Formal Friday because, yeah, I will also, I'll be recording a video from my cocktail channel when I make the cherry bakewell and the banana sundae. That's probably enough yawning. Probably time to go and think. Megaleech, how's AZ's GoFundMe going? It's going, which is good. It's going to be an enormous help to him. Just got to kind of get the funds to him because he's sort of too scattered to do a lot of paperwork. So I'm in the process of trying to do some paperwork for him, but we'll see what happens. Strictly say you have the kids on the weekend. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So you'll be looking for kids. All right, enjoy that weekend with the kids. That sounds good. Everyone else, take care of yourself as well. See you when I see ya. I hope you have a good time in the meantime. But I will say goodbye.